and there is straight portion. So in this portion you can see that this is straight. So this is scissor crossover. So train can come here, train can go there. In case of single crossover, only one of these two were available. Okay, not both of them. So scissor, shape of scissor, you know, like this. This is a real photo. So here you can see train can go in this direction, train can go in the other direction. There are point location, here also point location. Okay, and angle of crossing that you can see, all those are here. Then triangle. Okay, this is a special kind of track junction which is used for altering the direction of the locomotive. So what does it mean? So change the direction of the engine cheaper than something which is known as turntable. So you know nowadays modern day engines, diesel engine or the electric engine, you will be able to see that if you look it closely, you will be able to see that whether it is a forward direction or backward direction, the driver can see both the direction. But earlier when we manufactured the railway engine, it was not like that. It was only meant for seeing in the forward direction. So when a train is coming, this is forward direction, driver can see through this. So there are coaches, compartments behind it. So now when a train has reached the terminal station, the end station, for example, the train is coming from Delhi to Dehradun. So Dehradun, after Dehradun, there is no railway station. So train is going to come with the locomotive in the forward direction. Now when the train will go for the backward direction, because now the same train may be used to take passenger from Dehradun to Delhi. Now how to rotate the engine? So for that we had some kind of setup which is known as turntable. Okay, so let us see how the turntable looks like. So this is not a real photo, but I found it from the internet. So turntable, you can see that the driver or the people who are driving the train will be seeing through those windows here, through this window or through this window. Now once they reaches the terminal station, they will be taken to a place which is known as turntable. So on the top of that they have a special kind of mechanism where you have railway track. So the engine will come, then as it says turn, the table will turn. Okay, so the table will turn and they will be able to change the direction of the locomotive. But it has been observed that turntable maintenance of the turntable, construction of the turntable, everything is quite expensive. Then they came up with the idea of triangle. So triangle, how it looks like, very nice, very simple mechanism, not rocket science or anything. So the train is going to reach the terminal station. See, it reaches with the forward side in this direction. So it goes like this. Okay, then it comes back. So the locomotive, instead of pulling the train, now it is pushing the train in its direction. So it goes up to this. So whenever it comes, you will be able to see that the engine is positioned in the front side with the compartments on the wagon on its back side. So now the engine is ready to go for the backward journey. Okay, in the morning session, we had some presentation given by one group where they have talked about zigzag. Okay, zigzag for a particular railway. So in case of zigzag, what basically happens, like if you search in the internet, you will be able to see that in Darjeeling railways, Darjeeling Himalayan railways, they have zigzag line. Those are just like the hairpin bends on the hilly region. So when a train will be going to this point, so they have the engine. So I am showing smoke. Okay, so steam engine, it will go like this. Now when it reaches this point, they have some area where the train will go. Then for this particular slope, the engine will be pushing the train in this direction. Again, there will be some track on the back side. So the train will be, the locomotive will be pushing the train. Now the engine will be in the front location. It will go up, again backward direction, again go up. So it has been observed that if we can have this kind of land on the end of this railway track where we have zigzag, we can reduce huge amount of cost. There are other cost, huge amount of cost associated with other kind of tracks, right? Rack railways, there are other railways, funicular railways. So already some of the groups, they talked about it. So there are several kinds of railways which can be used in the hilly region where it is very steep gradient. So those can be replaced with a minimum cost if we have zigzag line. So here also, why I am bringing the reference of zigzag, because here also for this particular stretch, the train will be going in a direction. It will seem to you that the locomotive is going to push the train in the backward direction. So as soon as it is going to come here, the engine will be in the front direction. Now it will go back. All the coaches and compartment will be on the back side. So it is ready for the movement. This is triangle. So here I missed one point. So consists of two simple turnout and one symmetrical split. Where it is two simple turnout. So we have one turnout here. We have another turnout there. And you can see this is symmetrical split. Okay, so you have a split here. You have another split there. So this is triangle. Then we have last kind of track junction, which is known as double junction. So double junction are mainly visible on main tracks. So normal day railway station, junction station is coming. You will be able to see this kind of junction, which is known as double junction. So provided with two or more main track having branches. So main lines are going, at the same time there are branches. So consist of turnouts as well as diamond. Okay, so let us see a photo. So here we have one main track. Here we have main track. We have turnout. We have turnout. Now when this turnout is going to lead to a branch line, you can see there is formation of a diamond crossing in this location. Okay. So turnout, turnout and diamond crossing. So double junction, but it is only for main track. This is very old photo, but here also you can see like two lines are going. Here also two lines are going. Double junction. Now when we have talked about track or track junction, as you are engineer, particularly civil engineer, you need to know how to lay the track or track junction at the site. So you need to design it, the geometrical design basically. Where should we place the point rail? Where is the tongue rail? Where is top rail? How far it will be? How far we should place the heel block? Where is the toe of the switch? Where is the heel of the switch? So those things need to be known. Otherwise, we will not be able to place it on the railway track. So first one, the easiest one. I am going to start with the easiest one, design of crossover. So this is single crossover. This is not scissor crossover. So you can see there is a line. on the top, there is a second line at the bottom. So there is a right hand turnout going in this direction. So we need to know like what is the overall length of the track. So what does it mean by overall length? So this is starting of the turnout. This is end of the second turnout. So this is known as overall length. So here we have normal track, where we have normal track. So within what distance we need to lay the crossover, that we need to know. Okay. So for this first example, we have curved portion initially. We have curved portion at the end, but we have straight portion in the middle. Okay. Alpha is basically the crossing angle. D is basically the center to center distance between the two tracks. Here the two tracks are parallel, so this is designated as D, center to center distance. This G is basically the gauge, all of you know. Okay. So you people have to solve problem, but before starting the problem, I would say that you try to derive how the different components will be coming along with me. So draw a rough diagram of this. So draw two lines. Okay. Draw two lines. This is A point. This is C point. Draw a vertical line, perpendicular line, call it C. Draw a vertical line here, call this B. Okay. Call this point as E. And D is the point here. Mark these 4-5 points, then we'll be able to start. And alpha is the crossing angle. So A, B, C, D, E. 5 points are shown in this particular diagram. So draw this. And many times I ask the derivation in the exam. Okay. So what is this S? S, you can see it is basically the intermediate straight portion जो है उसका एक horizontal surface पे एक projection लिया है. So it is basically the horizontal projection of intermediate portion on the main track. Okay. So let us go to the derivation. Okay, so if we start with S, okay, S, you will be able to see that from this diagram, as per this diagram, let us call it DE. DE. So how DE should be represented in terms of crossing angle or gauge? Try to see. Okay, crossing angle, we know it is either alpha or it is represented in terms of N. So what can we say in terms of alpha? S is DE. Okay. What we can see about DE? So let us consider this triangle BDE. This is alpha. What we can say about DE? DE we can say BD cot alpha. What is cot alpha? When we talked about crossing angle or angle of crossing, how to determine N, we talked about 3 different methods. Right angle method, isosceles triangle method. Which method we use in case of India? Right angle method. If you check the right angle method, you will be able to see that as per the right angle method, cot alpha is equal to N. Okay. Now what is BD? Let us go back to the previous diagram. What we can say about the point the portion between B and D. So if we look at this particular line, vertical line, we can say that BD is equal to, here in this vertical direction we have, we have G, we have D. So can we say BD in terms of G and D? So I am trying to draw it in the next slide. My drawing is not really good, but here it is A point. This is C point, this is B point, this is D point. So I am saying what is BD in terms of either G or the center line distance is D. Okay, what we can say about BD? So I can start. So D minus, what is this? G by 2. What is that? G by 2 minus. So now so by writing D minus G by 2 minus G by 2, we got AD. So but we need BD. So we will subtract AB. So D minus G minus AB. Okay. So what is AB now? So this is vertical. This angle is what? This is alpha. This one is alpha. So what we can say about AB? From this triangle ACB or ABC, D minus G minus AC sec alpha. Okay, so that is BD. So what is S coming as? S is coming as G minus D G. What is AC? Vertical line G sec alpha multiplied by N. Okay, so BD has been replaced with D minus G sec alpha. That is S. Let me see how I can erase this. Can I erase it? Okay, good. So we so we got S is equal to D minus G sec alpha N. Now we cannot leave sec alpha because this is not coming to anything we know. So D we know from the road track, G we can know, G we can know, N we can know. So as we have seen cot alpha is equal to N using the right angle method that we use in case of India, let us try to convert sec alpha in terms of N. Okay, so if cot alpha is equal to N, what is sec alpha? In terms of N, function of N, what it is? Anybody want to try? If cot alpha is equal to N, how do we write sec alpha? Square root 1 plus n square divided by n. So s is equal to d minus g multiplied by square root of 1 plus n square over n or d minus gn minus g over n plus 1 plus n square. Okay, so this is only the straight portion, the one which is projected on the horizontal line. Now if I ask you what is the length of overall length of the crossover, then there are two more portions. Let us see the diagram. So we have only talked about S. There are two more portions on this side, on the other side. These two sides are known as curved lead. So I will show you a photo later. Curved lead is basically the distance between the theoretical nose of crossing, which is here, and the tangent point T. So what is the tangent point? Tangent point is basically where the tongue rail is going to touch the stock rail. So the distance we do not measure along the curve rail because those are bent. So we measure it horizontally. So this distance is known as curved lead. Curved lead is the distance, horizontal distance between theoretical nose of crossing and the tangent point. Similarly here, this is the second turnout. So here we have the theoretical nose of crossing. Here we have the tangent point. So this side is known as curved lead as well. Okay, so here you can see curved lead is given as 2gn. Okay, how this is coming, I will be showing you after a few slides. So for now, let us assume that CL is equal to 2gn. But CL is the horizontal distance or the distance between the theoretical nose of crossing and the tangent point along the length of the main track, the main line. Okay, this is curved lead. So if I tell you what is the overall length, so CL plus S plus CL. So 2gn plus S, you know, d minus gn minus g square root n plus n square, again 2gn. So 4gn plus S is the overall length of the crosswalk. Hey, please sound na karo, don't make noise. Mute yourself. Now, see in this particular diagram, it is same. Here you can see the curved lead has been represented as 2gn, 2gn, but we are concerned about S. How to calculate S? The difference between the last picture and this picture is that we do not have a straight portion here. Rather, we have two curves which are going to touch each other, and the radius of the two curves are same. Okay. So how to proceed? So as I have solved the last problem where you have to measure the straight portion in between. You people will be helping me to solve this portion S. How we will be coming with the value of S? Here we have to use R, we have to use D, and you have to use G. And obviously the crossing angle. Okay. So how to proceed? And as the radius of the curvature is same, the crossing angles are also same. There can be situation that one curve is having higher radius, the other one is smaller radius. In that case, these alpha values will be different. So let us do the simple one. So how to proceed? So for doing this, remember that you have to start with this triangle. Okay, if you have been asked to derive this, you start with this triangle. Okay. So we need to know S. So as S is a part of the overall length, let us start with AB. AB is the overall length. Okay. So let us see how it goes. So we have a triangle where it is A, B, C. So from the property of the triangle, we can say AB square is equal to AC square minus BC square. Okay. Now what is AC? Who will tell me what is AC? कुछ तो बताओ. What is AC?
2R.
2R.
Minus G.
Yes, 2R minus G, correct. Be careful, it is R, but this is also R. So we are going to take the outer radius, okay? So there is common area in between. So how to get rid of that? If we can remove the G from the middle. So AC can be written as 2R minus G. Then as it is AC square, we also said square. Now what is BC? This is complicated. Many students in the exam they fail to do that. They leave it. इधर ही अटक जाते हैं. आप लोग थोड़ा बताओ how to say BC in terms of G, D, R, G, D and R. Okay, I am giving you hint. I am telling you that this can be represented in terms of G, D and R. Tell me how it is going to come. BC. So if I ask you BC, first of all, think that this is R. So this is up to this point, it is R. Okay. Then
So the remaining part is R minus G minus D.
yes. So what it is coming? How much it is going to come?
2R minus G minus D.
Correct, absolutely correct. So 2R minus G minus D. Okay, see the diagram once again, you will be able to see. This is D. Okay, so 2R, then we are removing GG and then D, then we will get BC. So when it is done, this is quite simple mathematics. So you know AB square minus A square minus B square, how to write it down. So I am trying to see what can be done at a minimum. sorry. 2R, G. So D 4R minus 2D minus D. Okay. So remember that this is square. So if in exam or quiz I ask you or anybody ask you what is the overall length, you need to make a square root of that. Okay. Many a time you people like students, they forget it. Okay. So it is square root of that. Now if somebody asks you what is the horizontal projection of the curved portion, they do not bother about the overall length because as I showed you earlier, curve lead is equal to 2gn. So I will show the derivation later, but this is universally proven. So there is no difficulty here. So the most tricky part is what is the length of S. So what will be length of S? See, it will be overall length AB minus 4gn. Okay, AB you got from this, and 4gn you know g value, n value will be given. You will be able to tell it in terms of meter. Okay, there can be a different case where the angles are not same or the radius are not same. So in that case, how this will change? So in case of that problem, you do not write 2R, rather it is R1 plus R2 minus G. In case of second one, it will be again R1 plus R2 minus G minus D. Okay, then subsequently all the other steps will be same. So in that case, you will be able to see that this AB is coming within the square root D. Then this is 2R1 plus 2R2 minus 2G minus D. Okay, that's the only change you will be able to see. Now, when you have a crossover, we have talked about three different cases of crossover. Once when there is straight portion, once there is no straight portion, one horizontal curve meeting another horizontal curve, reverse curve. And the second case was divided into two different parts, R1 and R2, they are same. R1 or R2, they are not same. Similarly, consequently, the angle of crossing is also not same. Okay, now there can be a special case of crossover where the lines are not parallel, non-parallel. We have seen diagram like that, but its derivation is quite complicated. So that's why no such undergraduate books, they provide its derivation. So we have seen a photo earlier, like this kind of diagram, or it can be like this. Okay, so it has not been derived in any of the book. So that's why I am also not going to cover this. Okay, so this is unparalleled diverging track. One turnout is going to have another turnout for the second track, or one turnout is going to take place from the second track and going to march on the first track. So how geometry and other things will change, this is not covered in any of the books. Okay, and even I have not seen any problem being asked in GATE or engineering services. Now diamond, how to design a diamond. So we know that one line will be crossing another line, but where will be A with respect to B, or where D will be with respect to C, or where the position of F will be, like where we have to place the check rail at E or F, that we need to know. Okay, so here we have normal track, here we have normal track, normal track. Now suddenly you have been asked कि आप side में जाके you place the diamond. So how to proceed? So as this is in rhombus shape, so things are quite easy. Okay, so mark this point, draw it on an exercise book that this is A point, this is B point. Oh, This is C point, this is D point. Okay, and the point vertically opposite to A is E. The point vertically opposite to C is F. Mark those points. Now we will be using certain property of the rhombus. The first property is that its sides are same. So AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to DA. And the other property that we will be using is if we join the diagonals of the rhombus, they divide each other, they bifurcate each other at 90 degrees. So this is basically 90 degree and this is half, this is also half. So let us use all of those property. Let me write down on this page. So what we can say, AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to DA. So let us start with where the point E or F lies. Okay, so in order to know that, let us start with EB or DF. BE or DF. So how far from this point of rhombus we should place point E or F? So how to do that? So let us write EB, or we can say it is DF as per the diagram that I have shown you. So let us look at this triangle. So this is alpha. So this is straightforward AE cot alpha. So AE cot alpha. Okay. So what we can say about AE cot alpha? What is AE? AE is gauge. What is cot alpha? GN. Okay, again I am repeating, cot alpha is equal to N, number of crossing. As per the method we use in case of India, there are three different methods. The right angle method we use. Okay, so as per that, it is cot alpha is equal to N. Okay, so we have known the position of E and F. Now let us go to A, B, C, D, E, F. Sorry, A, B, C, D, A, B, B, C, C, D, D, A. How to calculate that? What is AB from this diagram? Same triangle we will be considering, AEB. What we can say from the triangle? Hey, who is typing? थोड़ा उसको mute करो. Please. Yes, you have a very high speed of typing that I can understand. So let me mute him or her. Where are you as? My God, what happened? Okay. So AB is equal to AE cosec alpha, which is G cosec alpha. Okay. Now what about AC and BD? AC, what we can say from the diagram, AC. So here you can see that alpha has become alpha by 2 for this particular triangle, ACF. Okay, from this ACF, everything has to be represented in terms of G or alpha. Now CF is G, so obviously we will be telling AC in terms of CF. What is that? It is CF cosec alpha over 2. CF from the diagram that is being shown to you, it is G cosec alpha by 2. Okay. What about BD now? BD. So there is again one small triangle that I can see. What is that triangle? We can say in terms of BD is equal to, we can say 2BO. Now what is BO? Take any triangle where you have one side included, because we have already measured AC, AB, BC, CD or DA. So anything is fine. So if we take BCO, then it will be 2BO is equal to 2BC sine alpha by 2. Okay, so what we have sides, we have the position of E and F, we have diagonals, and yes, AC, BD, and everything with respect to G and alpha or alpha by 2. So we have calculated everything. Okay. So let us solve a problem. Diamond crossing, if it is given, just hold on. Not being able to. I am not being able to erase this. So write down one problem. Design a diamond crossing between two BG tracks crossing each other at an angle of 1 in 10. Okay, 1 in 10. So I can utilize this particular slide to solve the problem. So 1 in 10 is given. So N is basically 10. G is given as broad gauge, so 1.76676. Again, you may ask me that why we are not using dynamic gauge. Remember that dynamic gauge is for super elevation. We try to incorporate some kind of factor of safety so that there is no derailment or any accidents. That's why use of 1.750 meter is only applicable in case of super elevation. So again, we are back with the value of 1.676 for the G, and N is equal to cot alpha. So what is alpha? It is cot inverse N or cot inverse 10. So basically 5.4 degree or something. 5.40 degree. Okay. So you may convert it to only degree, or you can have it in terms of degree, minutes, seconds. So whether you are using a scientific calculator, a normal calculator, that will be showing you different outcome. So as we have already solved EB or DF, it is GN. So what is the value of G? 1.676, N value is 10. So 16.76 meter. We need to know different sides. Let us take AB. What is the equation we got? Cosec alpha. So 1.676 cosec alpha, cosec 10 is coming as 10 point something. So if you convert it to, if you multiply this, you will be able to get 16.8 meter. Now left are with the diagonals. AC, G cosec alpha over 2. So 1.676 cosec alpha 10, 5.40 uska half. So I got approximately 20 point something. So it is coming to be 33.6 meter. What is left? BD, the other diagonal. It is 2 AB multiplied by sine alpha over 2. So AB value we just got 16.8, 2 sine alpha over 2 sine 5.40 divided by 2 will give you the value of BD. As per my solution, it is 1.7 meter. Okay, so you know everything. You are in a position to lay it at the site. Now turn out that we have discussed earlier, there can be 3 different types of design. Okay, there are 3 different methods. First one is Coles method. Coles method is one of the primitive method when we did not have very good manufacturing unit. So in this case, actually there are 3 different kinks. Kink means the joining of 2 rails are not still really great. So actual toe of switch means where the tongue rail is going to touch the stock rail. So we generally have straight tongue rail. So that's why there is a creation of a kink at the toe of the switch. Then there is heel of switch. So heel of switch is basically where the tongue rail is getting originated from the lead rail, curved lead rail. So again, as there is joining between the 2 rail, here also we had one kink. And last one is as crossing location. So crossing, you can see that point rail and splice rails are there. There also we have one kink. So kink means this sort of shape. Okay, kink. So let us see different components. So Coles method, as I said, this is one of the primitive method. Nowadays it is only used in siding. I have showed you earlier that what does it mean by siding or yards. So it is used in siding, light section rail, the rails which are lighter. Okay. Or in case of not important lines. So 3 things: sidings, light section rails and unimportant lines. In case of those, we use Coles method. So there is 3 kink, one at the toe, one at the heel, one at the crossing. 3 different kinks. So you can see there are some new terms as well. SL, L and CL. CL is known as curved lead. Okay, curved lead is the distance between the theoretical nose of crossing to the tangent point T measured along the length of main track. Okay, so we are not measuring like this, rather we are measuring along the main track, which is nothing but horizontal projection. Okay, that is known as curved lead. Now there is a second term which is known as switch lead. Switch lead, you can see here it is given as D. D is basically the heel divergence. So this is heel of switch. So the distance between tangent point and the heel of the switch measured along the length of the main track. And last one is only lead or crossing lead. Okay, so curved lead, switch lead and crossing lead. It is the distance between theoretical nose of crossing and the heel of the switch measured along the main track. Okay. So Now, so you can see from this diagram, we can say CL is equal to SL plus L. So there are certain derivation. Okay, I have seen questions coming from this, but I never ask question from these formulas, because if I give you the formula, there is nothing remaining. Okay, so I have tried it for certain years, and it is simply formula fitting, like value fitting and getting the values. But I would say that those who are really interested about engineering services, they should go through the derivation of these methods. So one is Cole method. So curve lead, here you can see that it is coming as 2GN. So can you say how this is coming at 2GN? So let us go back to the previous diagram. So here we can see curve lead is equal to, BE plus ET as per this diagram. Okay, or BE plus EC. Okay, so here you can see that this is a diagram which has been drawn. So ET and EC, they are same. This is R outer radius. This is R central radius. Okay, this is G. So BE plus EC. So BE, we can say BE. See where is BE? BE. BE can be replaced at G cos alpha, whereas EC, this can be replaced as cosec alpha. So G cot alpha and G cosec alpha. So I am writing G cot alpha plus, I am replacing cosec with cot. How to do that? So Gn plus G within the square root 1 plus Gn. So if you take this measurement, you will be able to see that the one within the square root, it is going to be almost equal to Gn, because this is just only 1. So we know the value of n can be, for the root, normal root, it can be 16. So if you square 16 plus 16 square plus 1, you will be able to see it is almost equal to n. So that's why Gn plus Gn is equal to 2Gn. Then there are other derivation as well. Everything is based upon geometry. The second method and the third method, the difference between the first method, second method, and third method is that in the first method we have 3 kings, that over the time when we have manufacturing facility, we try to get rid of 1 kings gradually. So in the second method, there are 2 kings remaining. One is at the toe of the switch and another one is at the theoretical nose of crossing. So which one is gone? The one at the heel is gone due to some special arrangement. So in this case and in the third case as well, we only consider the crossing lead, because we are removing the king, the intermediate portions are gone. So as we have removed the heel of the switch lead is gone. So when switch lead is gone, you can visualize that only crossing lead is relevant. So here also we have many geometrical characteristics. So again, I would say that the students who are interested about engineering services and other things, use this diagram, do it with your own hands. Otherwise, it will not be possible for you to solve the problem. third method, what is there in the third method? So first method to second method, we removed one king. In the third method, we removed another king. So we are left with only one king. And this is presently used in India, USA and other countries. So there is only one king at the toe of the switch. So the toe of the switch is still remaining because the tongue rail that we use, the tapered rail, is still the straight rail. If we use a curved rail, the problem is that it cannot be used both for right hand turnout and left hand turnout. So still, though we have manufacturing advancement, we still could not get rid of the toe of the switch. Here also we have many derivations. The only difference between the second method and third method, everything is same. Only thing is that in this particular method, the modern day method, the method 3, we have some portion which is known as X. This is straight portion, straight. So those who are interested about engineering services, from the problem statement, if you see that it talks about some straight portion at the theoretical nose of crossing, you have to understand that we have to use the third method. Here also we have certain derivations. Okay. So GD is heel divergence, it is alpha is crossing angle, beta is switch angle. So my suggestion to the people that you please derive it. If you have any difficulty, you just let me know, then we will have a class. But I do not ask any question for the exam purpose because it is not possible. I think that it is not possible for the students to remember those complicated equations. So I avoid asking questions from the design of the turnout from these three methods. Okay, so I think we are already over the time. So let me take the attendance and I will let you people go.